Hi, I'm Wayne Allen Root. Healthcare in this country is a disaster. Health insurance is completely unaffordable and it covers very little. But there's a better way. I'm living proof. I've joined myself. I'm a Liberty Health Share member. Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty one another loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not from government. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their health care. You have the freedom to direct your health care, not to be dictated to by big government or insurance company bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share. Do it today. There are no windows, no limited enrollment period, no penalties. You can join Liberty Health Share at any time, 365 days a year. I did. My family is a member. Call Liberty toll free at 855-58-LIBERTY for more information. That's 855-58-LIBERTY or online at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org.
A possible tragedy was averted by police in Kentucky. Here's more from USA's Rick Vincent.
The man under arrest by Kentucky State Police for making threats against Anderson County schools was carrying 200 rounds of ammunition and a bulletproof vest. Kentucky State Police Commissioner Rick Sanders.
I can tell you that he was caught backing out of his driveway with the tools he needed to commit this heinous act.
20-year-old Dylan Jarrell admits to making the threats. For USA Radio News, I'm Rick Vincent. Go.
A caravan of migrants from Central America that are heading to the U.S. were blocked from getting into Mexico. They began tearing down a barrier that was at the border. The massive migrants crammed onto a thin border bridge and chanted, "Yes, we can." They were then blocked by another gate on the Mexican side where riot police deployed pepper spray. Spanish TV Telemundo showed panicked migrants jumping into the river. This is USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
The U.S. Pacific Fleet reports a Seahawk helicopter has crashed on the flight deck of the USS Ronald Reagan. John Clemens reports.
All injured personnel are in stable condition under evaluation by the ship's medical staff. The military reports while some personnel will be medically evacuated ashore, none of the injuries are life-threatening. The crash occurred during routine operations in the Philippine Sea. The Ronald Reagan remains fully mission-capable and has resumed flight operations. The cause of the mishap is under investigation. I'm John Clemens.
Hurricane Michael has affected families across the U.S. My cousin used to live near Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida before her home was demolished. When the storm hit, Erin, her husband, and 2 young kids went to stay in Tallahassee with their mom, Mandy. She tells me after the storm, they went to see their home and found people had looted their things.
Yes, they were looted. People stole their televisions. There's a lot of looting going on over there.
She says even the babies' things were taken and they have to start from scratch.
They have lost their home. They've lost a lot of their possessions. Right now, the 4 of them are crammed into my living room and it's just not enough space. They need their own house.
To help Erin and her family, you can go to the Facebook fundraiser for Amanda Sparks Smith in Tallahassee. For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill wholesale pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-521-9579 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-521-9579 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-521-9579. That's 1-800-521-9579. Again, 1-800-521-9579.
Welcome to the Garden America Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to join us as we talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do with the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 1-855-424-9825. That's 1-855-424-9825 for your questions and comments. Or John at gardenamerica.com. And if you're watching us on Facebook Live, you can also post your questions and comments right there on our page during the broadcast. Now, here's Brian Main, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on the Garden America Radio and Media Network.
It is good to be back live in studio. Happy Saturday morning to you. Happy weekend, 6 minutes after. The boys are back in town. Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. I'm Brian Main. Happy good Saturday morning to you. Again, the weekend is here. We've got a great show lined up, 2 hours, broadcasting, streaming, talk radio, of course, Facebook Live, and we welcome all of our Facebook Live viewers this morning, those of you listening in San Diego on AM 1240, those who will listen later on this afternoon, the replay of the show, up in Los Angeles, Southern California, AM 740. That said, let's see, Tiger, going to go to you because I like you.
Hey, look at that.
How about that?
I was just admiring Brian's tan when he walked in from his vacation that he just came
I was going to say aloha, but he went to you first. So.
I got to be real careful about that. We put a lot of sunscreen on, but it just goes right
it's
through.
It's Hawaii. Come on now.
Yeah, it is Hawaii. You got to come back looking like you've been someplace.
Exactly.
Yeah, Kauai was outstanding. We've got pictures on our page, and thank you for the nice comments that people wrote or typed on Facebook.
You know the bad thing about aloha? Is you never know if you're coming or going.
Exactly. I know. Aloha's just in the middle of a conversation.
Really?
Yeah, you're talking to somebody when I say aloha, and you know, what? Aloha. Okay, mahalo. That's how we handle that.
Italian's the same way, right? Ciao. Ciao is hello or goodbye, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years since we've been in Italy. I forget.
It's time to go back.
It is. Yeah, right? Exactly. All right, here we go with our Garden America show, live on Facebook. We got a great guest lined up. We see a good friend of ours as well, Lance Walheim, later on.
And talking about an exciting event coming up next weekend. For those of you that are not familiar with the rose auction that we've been talking about for the past 6 months, it's coming up right around the corner now.
18th annual, right?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Jeez.
This is
almost as old as Tiger.
You know what? Wait a minute. I started doing it in 2003 or 4. So it had only been happening a couple of 2 or 3 years before I started. I didn't know that.
No, you didn't start that back that far.
You know what?
You started doing it maybe around 2010.
No, and I'll tell you why I know. Because I had a red Ford F-150 truck that I bought in 2004 and sold it in 2007. And I had that truck because we used to have it on Tuesday nights up in Carlsbad, and I would have Eric with me. And that was the same year or two when he bid on the Green Planet Rose that I still have. It's been that long.
Really?
It doesn't seem like it, but it's been that long. Yeah, absolutely. Because remember, it was dark, and I didn't know where I was going, and Joel was out there with a flashlight. Like
I remember that part.
Like he was, like he's bringing in a plane,
right.
over here. So it's been a long time, but this is a special year. John, tell us why this year is different from the rest of the years.
Well, it's different because for the very first time, it's going to be held in conjunction with the National Convention of the American Rose Society, which is held in San Diego this year.
And they travel around the world having these conventions every year. And today's
that would be the International Rose Society.
Well, I'm trying to make it bigger than it is.
It's National Rose Society all around the country.
Okay, so different cities each year.
Right.
Okay, and this year, of course, is San Diego, and it's a week from tomorrow.
Right. And the new I forget how many years it is now. It's every 2 years or 3 years. A new president is installed at the American Rose Society, and the new president this year is Bob Martin, who lives in Escondido.
Bob's a friend of the show and a friend of ours.
So we have, well, yeah, he usually helps us out at the auctions.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be it's going to be exciting. Now, if you want to go to the auction, if you live in San Diego and you want to go to the auction, it's on Sunday. I think it starts at 9:00 at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Mission Valley, and there's no charge. You can come in, you can sign up and register. It's absolutely free. If you want to go to the Rose Show from the American Rose Society, I think that's on both Saturday and Sunday, and I think that costs $5. If you want to go to the Rose Show, I'd really recommend going on Saturday, because roses always look at their peak the day that they're put in and judged. The day after, maybe not so nice.
Not quite as nice.
The day after is when you go by and look at them and look at the trophy winners and you go, I don't understand why this won.
Now, for those that don't live in San Diego that can't possibly attend, they can still bid online with the silent auction wherever they are, right, John?
They can bid on any rose being offered, silent or live.
Even the live auction.
If you go to ccrsauction.com, you can start putting your bids in, and we'll ship them whenever you want. If you're in a cold area of the country and you want them held till spring, we can even do that. A lot of new roses offered for the first time this year, besides some old rare roses.
Now, can we honestly say that some of these roses you won't find any place else in the world except right here?
Absolutely.
On Sunday, absolutely.
There's one rose that I believe there's only 4 of in the world, but it's a new rose, and that's why there aren't that many yet. So,
is it one of Ping's roses?
No, it's one of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Emiko.
Oh, okay. So
which I named after Sharon Asakawa's granddaughter.
Yes.
And Sharon's daughter's flying in from France because we're going to present her with one of the Emiko roses.
Well, how nice is that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's breaking
Will Sharon
news.
be there?
Sharon will be there, right? Sharon and her daughter.
I wish I had a breaking news sounder for that.
And then Jerry Matthews is going to be there with his wife.
You know what? I'm looking forward to seeing him.
We are auctioning off the Jerry Mathers rose, which, again, has never been offered anywhere in the world. It's brand new. This will be the first one ever sold.
Gee, I see a photo op opportunity.
That's a great idea.
Actually, that was redundant. A photo op opportunity. It's like saying a photo opportunity. So Jerry Mathers and his wife, who we had on the air via telephone, a couple of years ago, we talked to them because they love roses.
Well, his wife does for sure. I think Jerry's overall just a gardener. I don't know if he's especially fond of roses. I know he likes them, but I don't know if he focuses on roses as much as his wife does.
Well, I know he's a gardener because at the beginning of the show, during one of the years where they had this opening, they were all outside mowing the lawn and working in the garden. So that's how I know that he's a gardener. Had to be true. It was on TV. It was the opening of the show.
He was quite young then, wasn't he?
He was a young lad. Yes, he was very young. Actually, I think when the show started, if I'm not mistaken, it was 56 to 62, and he was 10 years old when the show started in 56. And John's doing the math right now.
Well, I'm trying to I thought we were born at the same year.
46, 47, 48.
Oh, he's that old. He's older then.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember he came to one of our events that we held in Bonsall. Do you remember that?
I don't.
Yeah.
Was I there?
Pretty sure you were there. You came to those events.
Yeah, we did.
We did the radio remote.
We did
there?
a couple of 2 or 3 live remotes, which are still on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, there's, I was thinking about this the other day. There's records of almost everything you've done in the last 5 years out there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I know.
It's scary.
Yep. So they can.
Why? What'd you do that was so scary that people should know about, John?
They're watching.
Are you hiding something?
They're watching us right now.
I just don't like people watching.
You don't like people watching?
Speaking of watching, I was looking at some of our past Facebook shows, and I noticed that, and I'm not sure why yet. I got to think about this, but it seemed to me like you and Tiger have a lot more fun than I do on the show.
It's fun.
I knew there was a reason.
Nah, you do a good job.
Sometimes.
Well, thank you.
At least the polls reflect that. Hey, we've got the, we mentioned Lance Walheim's going to be on after the break. Quote of the week, John, and a great newsletter this week. If you haven't read the newsletter, make sure you do that.
And the quote is, if a persimmon is not ripe, it will draw a man's mouth awry with much torment. When it is ripe, it is delicious as an apricot. And I picked that quote because it was from Captain John Smith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of founding the colonies. But persimmons were new.
Yeah, the explorer.
There were American persimmons, and there's also Asian persimmons, but they weren't well known to the Europeans or the colonists. So he obviously had the experience of biting into an unripe persimmon. Which, have you ever done that?
No. I suppose you pucker up automatically, right?
So it draws every bit of moisture from your mouth. It's like biting into cottony something or other. It's just like, it's unbelievable. You should try it just for the experience.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it on Facebook Live so people can see my face.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Here, try this.
All right, 16 after the hour. Thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday morning. We're going to have a good time today. Lance Walheim, our good buddy, is next. Lance is going to be here next Sunday for the Rose Auction. That's even better news. Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco, I'm Brian Main. Thank you for tuning in to Facebook Live, Biz Talk Radio. We're going to step aside. A few words right after this.
Everything is coming up roses in San Diego from October 25th to 29th. Lance Walheim here, and I'm honored to be the keynote speaker at the National Convention of the American Rose Society. BioAdvanced and Heirloom Roses will be co-sponsoring the 18th annual Save the Roses auction, along with the rose show, speakers, and festivities of the American Rose Society. So join me at the San Diego Crowne Plaza Hotel and Convention Center, and go to gardenamerica.com and check the homepage for links to registration and event schedule.
This is Joe Lample from Growing a Greener World. With the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite Organic Nitrogen Fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 3 months. The organic nitrogen is slow release and won't burn plants even during hot, dry weather. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for 90 years. Milorganite, for better results naturally. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
I live alone and rarely have visitors. So when I slipped and fell in the kitchen last month and couldn't get to a phone, I knew I was in trouble. Help! I could barely move. Help! I tried calling for help, but no one could hear me. As I lay there, I couldn't help but think of my kids and grandkids having to go on without me. I was terrified. It took 8 hours for my neighbor to find me. It could have been the end of me. That's when I knew I needed Life Alert. With just one press of this button, I'm connected to the Life Alert Center, where I can get the help I need, even when I cannot reach a phone. With Life Alert, I'm never alone.
Call 1-800-414-1958 for your free Life Alert brochure. That's 1-800-414-1958. 1-800-414-1958. Call for your free Life Alert brochure today at 1-800-414-1958.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-569-3414. That's 800-569-3414. Again, 800-569-3414.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Call the CPAP hotline now. 800-525-8891. 800-525-8891. That's 800-525-8891. Copays and deductibles apply. Supplies are replaced in accordance with Medicare guidelines.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Brian, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
That's right, John at gardenamerica.com, 855-424-9825, or Facebook Live as we monitor throughout the entire show. Been talking a lot about roses. In fact, we had a commercial during the break from Lance Walheim talking about the big event happening on Sunday. Going to toss it to you, Tiger. John, here we go with our good friend Lance, and let's talk roses.
Yeah, so this morning we have our wonderful friend Lance Walheim joining us to talk about a number of things. One being the rose auction that's going to be coming up next weekend. He'll be there live and in person. But at the same time, just overall tips and tricks. And he's also a representative from BioAdvanced, which is used to be Bayer Advanced.
Formerly Bayer.
Formerly Bayer, big blue bottle. Is that what it is? Blue bottle?
The blue bottle.
The blue bottle.
It's still a blue bottle.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It still is a blue bottle.
Right.
Yeah.
As far as big, that's personal perception.
Depends what size you get.
Yeah. But always a fun time chatting. Hey, and Lance, good morning. You with us?
Good morning, guys. I'm here.
Hey, I want to apologize because I got my dates mixed up, and I sent you a message.
This is a funny story.
Saying, hey, you think you can join us in studio on Saturday? Because I was thinking, hey, he's going to be in town. He's going to be on the radio. He might as well just stop by and join us. And Lance very politely was like, I'm not going to be in town that weekend, but anytime I am in town, I'd love to join you guys.
So it's actually next Sunday.
Yeah, next weekend you'll be in town. Sorry about that mix-up.
Oh, that's right. And I think we should probably try to get the hours right for the rose auction. Do you want me to give you those?
Yeah, please.
I'm looking at the page from the Rose Society, and it says that the silent portion will be from 8:30 to 12 p.m., and the live portion will be from 1:30 to 3:30.
So they think I'm going to be up there for 2 hours auctioning off roses, Lance? Is that's my time frame?
Well, I told Brian Lance, because we need to make sure he's there on time.
John pulled that on me last year, too, and I sat around for 45 minutes, but that's okay.
And I think that I think you can even come in as early as 8 o'clock if you want and start bidding. But I think the official timing that we were using was 9 o'clock. But it doesn't make any difference. Just be there and start bidding and have lots of fun. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Hey, so
I've got my eyes on a couple roses.
Do you now?
I do. I have some favorite hybridizers, and one of them is kind of a quirky guy, but I like him and I like his roses, so I'm definitely going to be looking to increase my Bagnasco garden.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, and
I was looking at I love polyanthus and I love single roses, so I'm looking at this tooth fairy, and that's looking pretty good to me.
The rose that's in the auction too is a nice 1 gallon specimen. Today it's full and in full bloom, so I hope the blooms last for the auction. But it's called Tooth Fairy because each individual petal looks like a tooth.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really interesting. The petals are kind of separated, and it's got big yellow stamens in the center.
Yeah, it is a nice
Looks
rose,
great.
I have to admit. And I sent one to someone in Michigan. They sent me back a note, and they said, we've had several freezes here in Michigan, and I want you to know that Tooth Fairy still is blooming where all the other roses
so it's already
and they're
a
dead.
good one,
yeah.
too,
So
Now, is that something that you knew about beforehand?
no. How would I know that?
Well, because you know everything.
Yeah. Come on, John.
I know everything eventually.
Eventually.
Not at the moment.
hey, Lance, my question to you, besides the fact that we're all anxious to see you on Sunday, what will your part be during the auction this weekend and during the live auction? Your purpose to be there this year is for what?
Well, I'm going to be the keynote speaker at the awards dinner, I think. I hope
Yes,
that's
which
right.
is
Nobody's told me what I'm going to do exactly at the
Sunday
auction,
night.
but I will be there.
You should prepare a speech.
I am. And
Okay.
I also have a presentation.
Since
I'll tell you why. I'm really honored. If you're lucky enough to be in the horticultural or gardening as a career, usually you get a couple plants that define your career. For me, it's certainly been roses, and of course, it's been citrus. I've written 4 or 5 books on roses and countless stories in various magazines from Sunset to wherever. And I'll tell you, every one of those books and every one of those stories relied on people from the American Rose Society to get all the information I need and to get all the information correct. As a matter of fact, Roses for Dummies, Bob Martin was a big part of that. And so the first thing I'm going to say is to thank everybody that's helped me over the years, because they've been an important part of my career. If it wasn't for Roses for Dummies, I probably wouldn't be the spokesperson for BioAdvanced. So I'm really looking forward to that.
I didn't know that.
Well, I think if you weren't, then you'd just be a dummy then, right, Lance?
That's right. Well, I'm the king of the dummies. I mean, I've done all those dummies books.
Well, I think I've got you there. So.
Hey, and then, I'm excited about this auction because we should have a Banksy rose. Did you hear about the Sotheby's auction where the Banksy painting
where it's self-destructed?
Self-destructed. So while Brian's up there, and when that gavel bangs, one of these roses is just going to shred itself.
We had a past member of the California Coastal Rose Society who was quoted as saying, "I have never killed a rose. However, a fair number have committed suicide while in my care."
Wasn't that Jerry Seinfeld?
No, it wasn't Jerry Seinfeld.
In my talk, I'm going to tell a little story about a rose that almost exploded on me. So.
Oh yeah.
Get your tickets now and be there.
If we should mention that if you want to hear Lance speak, you have to register for the convention, and you can go online to I think it's fiestaofroses.net and find all the information, or you can go to Garden America and there's links to all the information. You can come to the auction for free. But we're not giving Lance away, that's for sure.
Heck no.
Fiestaofroses.org. I'll post the link right now.
.org? Okay.
Yeah. So, Lance, tell us what's going on in your neck of the woods right now. It's turning fall for you, right? You got your big fruit tree orchard going?
Yep. We've started to pick citrus. We've been picking, we started with the yuzu. We've moved on to sudachis. And we just finished our finger limes, and we'll be starting Meyer lemons and the rest of the stuff pretty soon. So it's getting exciting up here, that's for sure.
Now, you just mentioned citrus that a lot of our listeners might not even be familiar with.
Right.
Yuzu and sudachi. And I wanted to ask you 2 things. First of all, what are those, briefly? But second of all, are you growing those because they're more of a specialty crop?
Now, let me stop you right there, only because we're going to go to a break.
Well, it'll give them something to think about during the break.
Exactly. So are those the questions?
That's it.
Okay, so Lance, marinate on that as we take a quick break. We're going to come back. Lance Walheim, our guest, and we got a big rose auction coming up next Sunday. It is 29 minutes after the hour, 855-424-9825, John at GardenAmerica.com. Also, Face Talk Live, questions, comments. I'm Brian Main. John Bagnasco, who has stepped away from the mic. Tiger Palafox coming back with Garden America on your Saturday morning. Stay with us.
Biz Talk Radio is now available on Amazon Echo. Just add the Biz Talk Radio skills, then ask Alexa for the latest business news. You'll instantly get live, relevant information from a best business source. Biz Talk Radio. Alexa, open Biz Talk Market Tips.
It may have been a messy divorce that suddenly cut your income in half, but not your bills. It might have been an injury or illness, or your boss just cutting back your hours. It doesn't really matter how you got in over your head. It only matters that you are and that we're here to help. If you've got over $10,000 in credit card debt and you can't ever see breaking free, then call Action Debt. Being in over your head is a vicious cycle. One day late, they charge fee. The payment, they double your. It's not bankruptcy or just a simple rate reduction plan. We fight for you using our proven experience in the insider programs that credit card companies try to hide. If you owe at least $10,000 to companies, you owe yourself to call Action Debt at 800-384-7099. Just because you got in over your head doesn't mean you have to stay there forever. Call 800-384-7099 today and we can be on your side tomorrow. 800-384-7099. 800-384-7099.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp. Get started with your idea. Call for free information.
Call 1-800-607-8945. That's 1-800-607-8945.
As a small business owner, there's one word that you absolutely dread: payroll. For small businesses, it's a big burden. You may think you're saving time and money doing it yourself. But come on, are you? Timesheets, processing checks, calculating taxes, a total waste of your time. Paychex simplifies payroll processing, saving you time and money. Submit your payroll online, fax it in, or call your dedicated Paychex payroll specialist. And you're done. Learn more at trypaychex.com. Come on, do the math. The IRS dishes out 8 million penalties a year. Make one mistake and you're on the hook. On average, you're losing nearly one business day every month doing payroll. That's time and money you'll never get back, unless you get Paychex. More than 500,000 small businesses already do. Call 877-649-5324. Trade payroll pressure for peace of mind. Call now. 877-649-5324. That's 877-649-5324.
Due to an upturn in the economy, Main Street Business Loans has pre-approved the release of millions of dollars in small business funding. Your business may already be pre-approved to receive up to $250,000. We've sent out millions of pre-approval letters. We see the economy growing, and our underwriters believe now is the time to invest in your business so you can grow faster and make more money. And we're prepared to give you up to $250,000 to do it. Your funds can be available in 5 days. There are no application fees, no annual fees, just quick access to up to $250,000. If your business did not receive your approval letter to get up to $250,000, call Main Street Business Loans Approval Desk now.
800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. That's 800-430-7570.
Does your water stain and damage your fixtures? Does it smell or taste bad? Are you worried about what's in your water? Water quality should not be painful and worrisome. Get HydroCare water systems from Wave Home Solutions with the most advanced purification technologies. Call Wave Home Solutions today at 1-888-989-WAVE or go to GreatHealthyWater.com. HydroCare will eliminate limescale that causes hundreds of dollars in damage to pipes and appliances without using salt. Well water will no longer smell or stain your fixtures. City water will be purified of harmful chlorine, lead, arsenic, and chemicals. Wave Home Solutions provides the cleanest, healthiest water at every faucet. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 1-888-989-WAVE, 1-888-989-WAVE, or go to GreatHealthyWater.com. That's GreatHealthyWater.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show. Brian, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
We are back having a good time. John posed a couple of 2 or 3 questions to Lance, and if we are back with our heads in the right direction, we are ready to go.
Yeah, and if Lance is still online, he probably knows the answer.
Yeah, the yuzu and sudachi are both Asian fruits that are very popular in Asia, especially Japan, and are starting to be more popular in the United States. Yuzu but the yuzu has flavor components that you don't find it anywhere else. We pick it green or yellow. It's used to make ponzu sauce and sauces for sushi. It's got a unique profile that is really wonderful. The sudachi is a small lime-like fruit. We can also pick that in green or yellow. And again, it's used by sushi restaurants and Asian restaurants, mostly to make different types of uniquely flavored sauces. So they really are specialty stuff, which is mostly what I grow here.
You know, when we were in Slovenia, we went into, actually it was a gas station, and went to get something to drink, and Sharon was with us, and she said, "Oh, look at this." And they had yuzu soft drinks.
Really?
Yeah, they do, and the flavor components are extremely unique, and I have a whole shelf of different types of juices and flavors, and even some of the major juice companies, some of the major soft drink companies are looking at yuzu to flavor some of their juices. So yeah, you can find it worldwide.
Hey, and I just wanted to quickly mention any of our listeners that want to look it up online. It's just spelled Y-U-Z-U.
Oh, yuzu, just like it almost sounds.
Exactly like it almost sounds.
Don't get it confused with Yoo-hoo.
No, it's Yahoo.
Close.
Yoo-hoo, the chocolate drink.
Oh, I was thinking of yuzu.com.
Hey, Lance, when you said very unique taste, am I to assume that it maybe not accepting to everybody's palate, or what?
Well, it depends on how you use it. It's a broad-ranging flavor. The fruit is acidic, obviously. It's very seedy. Even the seeds are used in the cosmetic industry, but the rind is used on sushi and sauces especially, and also the juice as well. But it is tart. It does have a unique flavor. It's I describe the rind flavor as kind of piney, extremely aromatic. It's great just to put the juice over steaks when you're barbecuing them, and it's great in sauces, juices too.
Yeah, I think it's great in juices.
Hey,
yeah,
Lance,
it really is. It's a special flavor.
When it comes to some of these specialty crops, when people grow an orange or a lemon, they get a very high yield usually. I mean, if you're in a good area that they grow well. Do these specialty crops produce as much as kind of the standard crops, or do you get less of a yield off of a tree? You mentioned finger lime, which most people I think know. They're kind of elongated, lime-looking fruit with the, what would you call them inside? I think you call them crystals, not crystals, beads.
Yes, they're
beads.
kind of juice vesicles.
Yeah. But
that's the word Tiger was looking for.
Yeah, juice vesicle, that's it.
Vesicle.
Is the yield as good as a standard lime tree, or do you get less, or do you get more?
Well, the thing about the finger limes is when they're ripe, they drop off the tree, but they are very productive. The tree looks like no other citrus tree you've seen. It almost looks like it has the small leaves of a miniature rose. It's so thorny. If you did have to pick it, you'd be in serious trouble. But a tree, it's not, a normal Washington navel may produce as much as 500 pounds of fruit. But a finger lime is maybe going to produce 40, 50 pounds of fruit. That's going to be more than you need.
Yeah.
A yuzu, it's not nearly as productive as a smaller tree, and the sudachis, which I have, are very small and compact. So they're not, but they do produce heavy. But again, it's a small fruit, lime shape. So it's not going to be. It's going to be fairly productive, but the size of the tree is really going to restrict it.
Okay. And then do you keep yours compact trees for easier picking, or do you let them kind of grow to full size?
No, we do prune them to keep them for easier picking. We keep the centers open because the yuzu, too, is also very thorny. So we want to be able to get in there and pick the fruit. But, keeping the tree smaller and keeping the center open that allows for easier picking, but it also allows for, easier spraying. If you have a scale problem, you want to get an oil spray in there really good. It's easier to do it if the tree's wide open.
Ah.
Hey, Lance, I was just wondering this just popped into my head. Do you think that the thornier a citrus is, the hardier it is?
I don't think so, because one of the thornier trees, of course, is the regular lemons, and those are some of the more tender ones. The heritage or the Sadachi are kind of complicated. The native types, if you've ever seen some of the citrus rootstocks, they are some of the thorniest things you've ever seen in your life. So I don't think so, although you can also say trifoliate orange, which is one of the hardiest citrus there is also a monster thorny thing. But I'd say it probably doesn't relate to hardiness.
Yeah, I was thinking of, I think flying dragon rootstock.
Right, which is a trifoliate orange.
Yeah, which was hardy in Lansing, Michigan.
well, right. I mean, it makes sense what you're saying, John, because when people have those suckers come out of the rootstocks, usually it looks like something that is out of a horror movie because it's got giant thorns on it, and it's much different than, the Eureka lemon that you have growing, which looks nice and easy.
The rootstocks are definitely chosen for their vigor.
Yeah.
But for hardiness, I was thinking more of temperature. But, yeah, they're definitely vigorous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, it has to do with soil adaptation and things like that. And, I mean, some of these, the trifoliate orange and the flying dragon are deciduous. So when you get a sucker from one of those, it's also going to start turning yellow around now, so you'll be able to see it very clearly.
Up there in the valley where you're at, Lance, are you guys starting to cool off now? Because I had some friends that was up in Madera this past weekend. They said it was still really hot.
The days are still staying pretty warm. We're expected to get maybe up 85, 90, maybe tomorrow. The nights, though, I can tell you, are so much cooler. And when you get up and at 6:30, it's still dark. That makes a big difference. And we could really use some cooler nights, though, and some cooler days, because that's what really, hardens off the fruit and really brings the color out and gets those sugars in them. So we could use some cooler nights. But I don't want to say too cool, because whenever I do that, I get in trouble.
You're out there blowing the. Do you still
smudge pot?
What do you use? Do you use anything, or you just kind of write it out?
Well, we use wind machines, and because we get usually when there's a cold front that comes in, it depends on what type of cold front it is, whether it's a honest to God cold front or we're getting an inversion layer and a good radiation frost, but the temperature 20 feet above the grove can be 10 degrees higher than it is in the bottom of the grove. So by running those wind machines, we can circulate the warm air into the grove. Then the other things, which are more adaptable to what a home gardener might do, is that they can run water. When we run water out of our pumps and out of our wells, it may come out at 50 to 55 degrees. So as we pump that out into the grove and it's really cold, as that water cools, it gives off heat, and we can usually raise the temperature a degree, 2 or 3, by just running water. So that's a very effective way.
Yeah,
smudge pots have they're just they're so polluting that nobody uses them.
Yeah.
We have an email question for Lance.
Beautiful.
Sure.
Yeah. That would be john@gardenamerica.com, by the way.
Yeah, and this question is from Bill, and he says here, question for Lance. When applying systemic pesticides, the instructions usually say apply to the soil near the trunk. Why is this different from fertilizer that's usually applied out near the drip line?
Right, that's a question we get a lot. And from the studies that we've done, we found that when the systemic insecticides are applied near the trunk of the tree, they're absorbed equally as well as if they're applied over the entire drip line of the tree. The other thing, and the reason why that's advantageous, is if you had to evenly sprinkle that material over the entire drip line, say, of a large tree, it would be very difficult. But by just putting it right around the trunk of the tree, as the label instructs, you can get the material up into the tree just as effectively.
Yeah, and I agree with that
I get
because
that question a lot, and
yeah,
we've done a lot of studies about it. Because it would be a lot harder to spread that material evenly throughout the drip line.
Have you done that, Tiger?
Yeah, with bay laurel trees, they get a lot of scale and sooty mold issues and things like that. And when I had a customer and we treated 2 different trees, and we treated one with the drip line and then one at the base of the tree. The base of the tree responded much quicker than the drip line one.
Okay, we're going to take a break. One more segment coming up. We'll wrap up with Lance, maybe take a question or two, and, of course, receive some more great information from Lance Walheim. All right, Rose Auction next Sunday. Lance is going to be there, keynote speaker. We're going to be there. I'm Brian Main, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. It is break time here on your Saturday
Want a
morning.
better looking lawn with less effort? Husqvarna's robotic automower is the effortless way to mow. Husqvarna's intelligent design allows the automower to maneuver around your lawn without supervision, even over tricky terrain and around obstacles. It knows when it needs to be charged and directs itself back to the charging dock. With convenient control options, the Husqvarna allows you to set it and forget it, even from your smartphone. Thanks to Husqvarna, you can have a great looking lawn and more time to enjoy it this season. Visit Mission Hills Nursery at 1525 Fort Stockton Drive in San Diego, or go to missionhillsnursery.com for more info. Having bug problems this season? Need an overall solution? Try Natural Guard Spinosad Soap. This combination of spinosad and fatty acids kills aphids, mealybugs, worms, caterpillars, and other bugs that plague your garden. It's also safe to use around your fruit and veggies to make sure you enjoy your crop and not those pesky critters. Find Natural Guard Spinosad Soap in a ready-to-use bottle or ready to spray for those large garden plots at your favorite independent garden center. Go to fertilome.com for more information.
We paid less for our Craftmatic today than we did 20 years ago.
If you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and free information on today's Craftmatic adjustable beds. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Rated #1 by consumers nationwide on ConsumerAffairs.com. Craftmatic beds come in all mattress types, including cool gel memory foam for up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand. Enjoy temporary relief of low back pain, poor circulation, nighttime heartburn, mild arthritis. You'll sleep better in a Craftmatic adjustable bed. So if you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and information. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Discover Craftmatic for less, up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand.
Call 1-800-316-5271. That's 1-800-316-5271. 1-800-316-5271. Call now.
Attention investors. Respected names in the financial services industry are not evaluating if there will be a significant market downturn, but when. Higher interest rates and prospects of a trade war suggest the stock market is headed into a perilous direction. Subprime mortgages, which are back, could potentially devastate the real estate market as they did before. And with stocks simply overdue for a fall after this second longest bull run in history, even bullish analysts are recognizing these indicators that equities are in big trouble and have projected stock market losses up to 40%. You can protect your IRA or 401k for maximum safety and opportunity with physical gold and silver, as they are assets that remain genuine stores of value no matter what's happening in the marketplace. Call Augusta Precious Metals today at 855-858-5806. That's 855-858-5806 to get your free guide to precious metals investing. Call Augusta Precious Metals today at 855-858-5806. That's 855-858-5806.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-285-4765 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-285-4765. Again, 800-285-4765. 285-4765.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait.
Call 800-605-5370. 800-605-5370. Call 800-605-5370.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Brian, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825 or .com.
All right, back here with Garden America, Brian Main, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. Speaking of questions, John, we've got a couple for Lance here.
Yeah, we do.
I'm sorry, did I catch you off guard?
Well,
John and I were talking, so the first question
go ahead.
that we have for Lance was from one of our listeners named Rick, and he was asking about fertilizer, and what were the kind of trees he was talking about, John? Because I can't see that question.
Oh, he was asking about fertilizing fruit trees.
Fruit trees. And does he ever use kelp or
worm castings?
Castings?
Would you ever use those? And what time of year do you fertilize? Also, we should probably mention that Rick lives in Grants Pass, Oregon.
So what's your take on that, Lance? Did we lose Lance? Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's thinking.
He's growing in citrus, but yeah, a home gardener certainly can fertilize with those on a regular basis. I would want to get it on in fall or early spring before the trees start to bloom and grow. The thing that you have to be careful with when you're using some of the organic fertilizers is you have to realize that soil temperature is going to influence the rate that those nutrients are released. So you're going to have to get a little trial and error going on it. But the University of Oregon has some great publications, and I'm sure they can give you some specific recommendations of what type of organic fertilizers you can use. But it does take some experience and some testing to make sure that you get the right amount on at the right time.
Rick also wanted to know if there's really a cool season avocado, or is that just a rumor? And I'm not sure what he means by cool, because I don't think there's any avocados in
Oregon.
Up in Oregon.
No,
but
no,
there.
I don't think if he means a hardy avocado,
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to work. We do have, there are dwarf avocado varieties that I know people who will grow them, indoors in winter and then take them outside in summer, growing them in containers. But that's kind of hard with an avocado just because of when the bloom time is. Because they tend to bloom pretty darn early. And if you keep them warm inside, you're going to want them outside to be able to get pollinated. So I don't know of any really hardy avocado.
I think the Tiger and I were talking during the break, and I think the hardiest are the ones out of Texas. I don't know if you're familiar with any of those varieties, but they've go as far north as Austin, Texas, and take temperatures down to around 12 or 15 degrees.
That's pretty good. I know in general the Mexican avocados tend to be hardier.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah, and again, if you're going to take a temperature that low, it can't be 3 months of 12 degrees.
No.
It's
one time.
A few nights, maybe, and they'll survive.
Yeah, and commercially, I think Little Cotto and Mexicola are ones that you see commonly, but there are other ones like John was mentioning, but they're really hard to find,
Yeah, you almost
you got to mail order them kind of thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I think the little cotto and worts, they may be the same. I'm not sure.
They are.
Yeah.
Little cotto and worts are the same.
Yeah.
And there's also the indoor avocado. It was promoted as being an indoor avocado, but of course, like Lance says, it depends when you can get it outdoors. But the Don Galagli avocado, are you familiar with that, Lance?
I have heard of that one. Yeah, I'm not familiar with anybody who's grown it, but that's a newer variety, and I have heard about that being fairly hardy.
Yeah, and that would probably be the best for somebody who wanted to grow an avocado indoors and then take it out for the summer and hope to get some fruit.
Yeah.
And I think that's supposed to be on the on the smaller side as well. So it'd be, obviously an avocado, a regular avocado tree, and it's going to be a challenge in a container. So, I would like to say a little bit more why I think the Save the Roses is so important. The rose family is so important, and it's such a resource genetically in terms of what's there. We all know that the rose family has thousands of varieties, but we also have to remember that the rose family also includes things like apples, like strawberries, like blackberries, and so it's a wonderful genetic resource that we never know when we're going to need it. So it's important to preserve these old varieties. If we let these old varieties die out, then how do we know that's not the variety that's going to give us not resistance to black spot, but immunity to black spot?
Right.
Or I saw a couple different breeding programs where people are using roses to make blackberries more everbearing, to give disease resistance to strawberries. So it's very important that we preserve this genetics, and what's going on in the rose industry with only a small portion of the varieties actually available. We need to preserve them in any way we can, and that's really why I love the Save the Rose auction.
Yeah, great point.
I was just thinking of a new crop for Lance because there was
because he doesn't have enough to do.
Because he doesn't have enough to do, right. But there was a new rose developed a couple years ago called Sweet Hips, and each hip is supposed to be the size of a crab apple.
Wow.
And Dr. Keith Zeri, who developed that, says that it tastes as good as an apple. And you know that rose hips are loaded with vitamin C, but they're either insipid or don't have a very good taste. But here to have one that actually tastes good. And
there's actually, I know that there are European companies who are developing rose hips that have, are ultra high in nutrients and vitamin C, but that also are supposed to taste better. So that's really interesting.
Well, hopefully we can find more information next Sunday. And Lance, we appreciate you being on the show and giving us all this good information. Look forward to seeing you and talking with you again.
People can go to BioAdvanced.com if they want information about our products.
We'll put that link up.
Thank you.
Lance, thank you so much. We'll see you Sunday.
My pleasure, guys.
All right.
Thanks.
Outstanding. What doesn't he know? He's expertise in certain areas, and then we ask a question kind of a little bit off the grid, but he seems to be very aware.
Well, you've heard of the Western Garden book?
Yeah.
Which has just about anything you want to know about gardening in the West, every plant there is, and he was one of the editors for that book.
Yeah.
So
not surprising.
So what he does know would fill a book.
Exactly.
I don't know about what he doesn't know.
We're getting close to the top of the hour news on many of these Biz Talk affiliates. We hope you'll stay with us. If you don't get your show in your local market, you can also stream through Biz Talk Radio. Go to GardenAmerica.com. Continue watching us on Facebook Live. 6 minutes after, we're going to be back with hour number 2. You can call us at 855-424-9825. John at GardenAmerica.com. Facebook Live along with Tiger Palafox. John Bagnasco. I'm Brian Main. It is break time, and again on Biz Talk Radio, news coming up on many of our affiliates. We are back at 6 minutes after as Garden America continues. Stay with us.
Listen on the go. Download the Biz Talk Radio app. Available on iOS, Android, and BlackBerry. Biz Talk Radio. The opinions you hear on Biz Talk Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of this station, Biz Talk Radio, its management, or advertisers. The information on Biz Talk Radio does not recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or service. If you have any questions about Biz Talk Radio, contact us at 817-274-1609 or at biztalkradio.com. This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at Biz Talk.
Initial response to that situation.
It's being stopped as of this moment by Mexico. So we appreciate very much what Mexico is doing. As of this moment, I thank Mexico. If that doesn't work out, we're calling up the military. Not the Guard, we're calling up the military.
In our other top story, Saudi Arabia maintains writer Jamal Khashoggi, a prominent critic of Saudi Arabia, died in a fistfight at the consulate in Turkey. 18 Saudis are being detained as suspects. President Trump comments on that situation.
Well, I think it's a good first step. It's a big step. It's a lot of people involved, and I think it's a great first step.
You're listening to USA Radio News.
Hi, I'm Wayne Alarootz. It doesn't take much for grocery store shelves to go from fully stocked to completely bare. Please don't wait for an emergency to happen to become a victim of chaos and a government that cannot provide. Make sure you have an adequate food storage supply and use My Patriot Supply. These are great folks I've started working with. They've helped me plan for an emergency. I'm here to tell you it doesn't have to be difficult. In fact, with this first step, you can make any crisis seem like an inconvenience. Get each person in your household a 2-week emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply. They're only $67. That's it. $67 for 2 weeks of food that lasts up to 25 years. Call now, 888-524-6540, or use the special website, preparewithwayne.com. Preparewithwayne.com. Do it today and prepare so you can feed your family when a crisis strikes. 888-524-6540. 888-524-6540 or preparewithwayne.com.
Days after Hurricane Michael made landfall, medical services in the Florida Panhandle are still limited. At Bay Medical Sacred Heart, spokeswoman Martha Crombie says they still can't accept any new patients.
Once the storm had passed, we began to evacuate. We evacuated over 200 patients to area hospitals. As patients continue to come through the ER, however, we are assessing them, and if they do need hospitalization, they're stabilized here and transported to an area hospital.
Top U.S. intelligence officials say they're concerned about ongoing campaigns by several countries to sway our elections. With more on that, here's USA's Wendy King.
The Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the Homeland Security Department, the Justice Department, and the FBI have issued a joint statement. It says Russia, China, Iran, and other countries are using many platforms like social media, seeking to influence voter perceptions and decision-making in the 2018 and 2020 elections.
This is USA Radio News.
Look, I know this isn't the first MyPillow spot you've heard, and if you don't have yours yet, what are you waiting for? MyPillow stays cool, keeps its shape all night long. You can toss it in your washer and dryer, and it's like new again. Made in the USA, comes with a 10-year warranty and a great money-back guarantee. If you don't love your MyPillow, you have till March 1st to return it. How about that? Go to MyPillow.com, click on the buy one, get one free special. Use my code USA and get one free pillow when you buy one at regular price, plus shipping. That's MyPillow.com, click on the buy one, get one free special. Enter promo code USA. That's promo code USA.
If you look up this weekend, you may be able to witness a meteor shower. More from John Clemens.
Dan Pitanowski of the AccuWeather Global Weather Center tells us about this weekend's meteor shower.
The Earth's orbit is actually passing through debris left behind from the trail of Halley's Comet over the weekend. And as the Earth takes that orbit through the debris, some of that will fall through the atmosphere as meteors. And of course, as those burn up through the Earth's atmosphere, we get quite a light show.
Returning to one of our top stories, Amnesty International says Saudi Arabia should immediately produce the body of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi so that independent forensic experts can conduct an autopsy in line with international standards. Saudi Arabia says the columnist for the Washington Post was killed in a fistfight in the kingdom's Istanbul consulate, a reversal from previous Saudi assertions. No one wins the latest Mega Millions drawing, meaning the jackpot is now expected to rise to $1.6 billion by Tuesday. The chance of matching all 6 numbers and taking home the grand prize is 1 in 302.5 million. The FBI expands the search for missing 13-year-old Jamie Kloss, who mysteriously vanished Monday after her parents were found shot to death in their Wisconsin home. Law enforcement organized 100 volunteers crews to search a 14-mile stretch of the ditch line on the highway where the house sits. 2 of them spoke to CNN.
My dad grabbed me and said they're doing a search for Jamie, and I said, absolutely, let's go.
It's just that the murders are bothering everybody. As for Jamie, we're hoping that she's still in the area and alive.
For USA Radio News, I'm Rick Vincent.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-521-9579 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-521-9579 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-521-9579. That's 1-800-521-9579. Again, 1-800-521-9579.
Welcome to the Garden America Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to join us as we talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do with the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 1-855-424-9825. That's 1-855-424-9825 for your questions and comments. Or John at gardenamerica.com. And if you're watching us on Facebook Live, you can also post your questions and comments right there on our page during the broadcast. Now, here's Brian Main, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on the Garden America Radio and Media Network.
She is right. We are back. It is hour number 2, 6 after the hour. Hey, our friends on the East Coast, good afternoon. Welcome to Garden America. Thank you for being there. Facebook viewers, we do appreciate it. If you want to give us a comment, question on Facebook, we welcome that. Also, 855-424-9825 and John at gardenamerica.com. That's where we stand.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful weekend.
Oh,
right here.
85 today. Is that right? It's going to be mid-80s again?
Yeah, mid-80s again. And I think, and I hope I'm correct, but I don't think anybody's underwater at this moment. I think the flooding has subsided.
You mean here in San Diego?
Well, no, I'm talking about nationwide. I don't think anybody is in any severe states. I mean, I know there's people still recovering.
Yes, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, you have the aftermath of the hurricane.
Yeah, but I think that
take a long time to recover from.
We're all in this moment of because for weeks there was always something to report.
Something going on, yeah.
Whether it was flooding up north or a hurricane hitting the south or everything else. But I think it's nice that we're kind of all getting into the fall now, and it's looking good.
Hey, thank you for the gourd.
Yeah, you see that?
I appreciate that.
It's fall in here now.
Looks like a pumpkin to me.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yep. I thought it wasn't a pumpkin until you carved it, but then I guess that's a jack-o'-lantern, right?
This is the season that you harvest gourds, though.
It is.
And winter squash. We should a lot of I should say that there is some confusion when you talk about summer squash and winter squash.
Yeah, clear that up.
Because some people think that winter squash you plant in the winter.
Yep.
And summer squash, of course, you would plant during the summer months.
You plant them to be ready for those seasons.
Right. You plant them all at the same time. And if you planted summer squash like zucchini or crooknecks, you've been picking those all. Patty Pan's been picking those all summer.
Patty Pans?
Patty Pans.
Okay. Clear that up.
Patty Pans.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the winter squash, like Hubbard and butternuts, things like that, you're starting to pick right now, and they go into winter. Called winter squash because they have harder shells, and they'll hold over the winter. So you can store. Matter of fact, there's the one. What's the one squash? Treamble, which will last 2 to 3 years once it's picked.
A lot of squash lasts for over a year once they're picked, though, right? I mean,
Winter squash.
Winter squash, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, like a Hubbard or something like that.
So, I mean, that's still a very long time because people think like it's a vegetable. It won't, you have to use it within a few weeks. Otherwise, it rots and dies. But I think the most tender are the pumpkins themselves. I mean, I know they're not a squash. They're a pumpkin. But, you know, those are probably the most tender because
a lot of them turn into squash the day after,
after
Halloween.
You go to the store and you see all those decorative squash for the holidays. You can have those for a year easy.
The gourds, you
the
mean?
gourds. And
the
things
gourds
like
last
that.
a long time.
Yeah.
Well, there's the one that was called the 7-year melon or 7-year squash that the Incas used, and they would keep it for times of famine. And I have two that I picked, and they're in my yard right now, and they're on their 4th year.
Wow.
Wait a minute, you picked them and they're in your yard? Like you just
Well,
have
the
them sitting
squash,
on the
just
on
have
the
them sitting
deck, the patio or something?
Yeah, sitting out near a tree, and I want to eventually use the seeds because it's hard to get the seeds. Matter of fact, they use the plant in Mexico for, I'm trying to think, would they candy the fruit or something?
I don't know.
It's called chile coyote in Mexico where they use it. But anyway, that's kind of interesting to think of a vegetable you could have for
Lasting
7
that
years.
long?
Yeah.
I don't know how good it tastes after 7 years, but if
when
it's
you're
between that and
I was
starving
going
to
to say
death,
when you're dealing with famine, I think taste buds went out the window a while ago.
Yeah, really, right?
I don't know if I told you this story, but I think I did, that I had planted the seeds because I had always wanted to see how this thing grew. And next to my property, alongside the fence on the side of my house, there was a large mulberry. And I put the plant next to the fence. It grew up the fence into the mulberry, covered this 30-foot mulberry completely, and then had these watermelon-like looking fruit hanging all over it. And they were on my neighbor's, my neighbor's tree.
Yeah.
He thought they were watermelons, and his son was all excited that I had to explain to him, no, they're not really even that edible.
They're loofahs.
Fast growing?
He was, fast growing, yeah.
It
30,
took
30
over.
feet in 1 year.
Wow.
And it's a perennial. So it will last from year to year unless you spray it with Roundup like I did.
No.
Because I had to stop it.
Yeah.
It was just too big. It's like kudzu.
Yeah. Jeez.
Stop the madness.
Rick had commented that it's his 2nd year up there, and he's amazed at how fast the trees turn colors. And, I mean, it could happen so quickly. As soon as we get a weather change, the plants know it's time to start.
Well, he used to live in Monrovia in Southern California.
That's a big difference.
And I'm originally from Michigan, so I know what he's talking about because everything's green 1 week, and 2 weeks later, everything's full of color. And in California, it's just like a little more laid back.
Yeah.
A tree will do it here and there.
Yeah, we'll put a little yellow in.
Not too much, not too quick.
And it'll be tree by tree. You could have 4 trees in your yard,
right?
And one tree's changing, and the other trees are like, no, I'm still green.
I'll see a lot of liquid ambers that don't begin to change color until after Christmas.
Right.
And, they're supposed to be deciduous.
What do you have blooming, John? I've got Pope John Paul blooming right now. But
I just cut back a couple weeks ago my Pope John Paul II rose.
Now, are you still having, one of its characteristics is it doesn't really hold itself up very well. So I've got three of
well, mine has been in the ground
down
for 10 years, I think.
And the longer it's in the ground, the better it gets?
Yeah. It's got a trunk that's probably...
I'm talking about the stems, how they lean.
Yeah, my trunk's about 6 inches across.
Wow.
So the stems that it puts out are about an inch across. So they're pretty sturdy.
Now, would the same hold true in terms of, because yours is in the ground, mine's in a pot. Does the pot, if it was in the pot for many more years, would it improve? Or is it because it's in a pot that it's probably not going to, they're probably always going to be hanging down?
Yeah, you've got a few things going against it for you because not only is it in the pot, it's not in full sun. Yeah. You get a lot of shade on
and
your
even
patio.
less sun now.
Right.
This time of year.
So that's going to produce more supple stems and a variety that already tends to that, like you mentioned.
So it's only going to accentuate it.
Yeah, you need to move somewhere where you've got a little yard.
Fallbrook.
You know, Fallbrook would be nice. A half an acre.
There's a half
It's already
acre
got roses.
on sale.
Yeah, it's already got roses planted.
Because that's very personal. When you begin a project and you have to leave it, you know.
Yeah. I would, let's see, what I want in exchange for that? Access to the yard for a year.
Fine.
I would
come and go.
I would maintain it as long as I could dig up whatever I want and take it with me.
It's yours. I would sit
we've
back and watch.
We've heard John's maintenance schedule. All right, it's not exactly a great bonus. I mean, you know how many times we've sat here and been like, "Oh, I've got to work in the roses this weekend. I think I might put it off for another week. I've got a rose that's 8 feet tall and it's just too overwhelming."
You know what? I pruned those 8-foot tall roses.
What variety?
I think it was Grand Amore, and
of course you have the tag on there. So.
And Moro Lindbergh. Those were both over 8 feet. Matter of fact, Grand Amore might have been 10.
Grande?
Yeah, I haven't pruned though. I didn't prune those roses for 3 years. But anyway, now I'm expecting some phenomenal fall blooms. Because it's, I had to cut them down from 10 feet down to 3 feet.
Well, that'll just make them right back up again, right?
Yeah. I'm going to really have good fall bloom,
Do you know that concept, John? I mean, with your sons being arborists, this idea that sometimes a heavy pruning initiates bigger growth. So sometimes they tell you not to do such a heavy prune so that way you get minimized growth. I was just talking to a tree guy about this a few weeks ago, and because we had a customer who wanted to lace out their tree, but they wanted to lace it out severely, and he was saying it might not be a good idea to do it so severe because it actually initiate more elongated growth later on.
Well, we can talk about that when we come back from the break.
Very good. That's what the music says. It is break time, and we're going to continue this discussion afterwards. Looking for your questions, comments. Come on, what's on your mind? Fall planting. John at gardenamerica.com, 855-424-9825. Facebook Live. We're going to step aside, take a break, come right back.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Everything is coming up roses in San Diego from October 25th to 29th. Lance Walheim here, and I'm honored to be the keynote speaker at the National Convention of the American Rose Society. BioAdvanced and Heirloom Roses will be co-sponsoring the 18th annual Save the Roses auction, along with the rose show, speakers, and festivities of the American Rose Society. So join me at the San Diego Crown Plaza Hotel and Convention Center, and go to gardenamerica.com and check the homepage for links to registration and event schedule.
If you're suffering from hearing loss, stay tuned for a special offer from the makers of Listen Clear, a revolutionary hearing aid breakthrough designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. Right now, you can try Listen Clear hearing aids absolutely free for 45 days. You can also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear hearing aids are so lightweight and comfortable, you can wear them all day long. They're practically invisible, too, so others won't even notice you're wearing them. And the best part is, you'll be able to hear almost everything, everywhere. So do something about your hearing loss. Call Listen Clear now to get started with your 45-day risk-free hearing aid trial. This special offer won't be available for long, so call Listen Clear now.
800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. We're here 24 hours a day to help. That's 800-716-4650.
It may have been a messy divorce that suddenly cut your income in half, but not your bills. It might have been your boss just cutting back your hours. It doesn't really matter how you got in over your head. It only matters that you are and that we're here to help. If you've got over $10,000 in credit card debt and you can't ever see breaking free, then call Action Debt and do it now. Being in over your head is a vicious cycle. One day late, they charge you a late fee. Miss a payment, they double your rate. You just don't think it's fair, and neither do we. This is not bankruptcy or just a simple rate reduction plan. We experience in the insider programs that credit card companies try to hide. If you owe at least $10,000 to the credit card companies, you owe it to yourself to call Action Debt at 800-384-7099. Just because you got in over your head doesn't mean you have to stay there forever. Call 800-384-7099 today and we can be on your side tomorrow. 800-384-7099. 800-384-7099.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-569-3414. That's 800-569-3414. Again, 800-569-3414.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Williams Paisley. When my mother was diagnosed with dementia, we didn't know where to turn. For my family, the decision to move her into long-term care was heart-wrenching. From the start, I wish we'd known about the National Association of Insurance Commissioners. Their free, unbiased resources can help you get smart about insurance before you buy. For information you can trust, contact your state insurance commissioner or visit insureyouonline.org. That's insure, the letter U, online.org.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Brian, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825 or John at gardenamerica.com.
Right back after those messages here on Garden America. Brian Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. Lines open at 855-424-9825. John at gardenamerica.com. And, of course, Facebook Live. Bring us up to date before the break, Tiger.
So before the break, I was talking with John about the idea, the concept that when you do a heavy pruning, rather than just a moderate or light pruning, that it actually initiates a plant to grow faster.
Yeah, it spurns growth.
And you'll have to reprune again sooner than if you would have just done a moderate pruning.
Yeah, and there's a couple things that cause that. First of all, if you prune heavily, you now have a giant root system that's supporting a very small tree. So all that nutrients that are going up the trunk into the tree have to go somewhere. So they push a lot of rapid growth. The other thing is that buds are normally dormant in the shade. And if you expose bark that was in the shade to sunlight, it now initiates growth on a lot of those buds. So you have two things going for you there. Buds that now are initiated to grow, and the huge root
system that was supporting it before, but now it's not.
Yeah, look at avocados. That sometimes they'll cut them down
to a stump,
and graft them new varieties on, and within a year you've got a full-size tree practically.
Yeah, and so I think
prune lightly.
It's be consistent. Don't let the tree or shrub
get out of bounds,
in the first place, because therefore you are going to have to. I mean, when people have those 15-foot tall hedges that they only want to 8, and then they trim it down to 8, next thing you know, a week later, it's up to 10.
And what about your hedge? What's the update?
It's growing. It's growing. It's filling in. This rain that we had, I think, really encouraged a lot of its growth, and I'm finding a balance because I used to have that pepper tree there,
right,
and
you took that out.
I took it out, but I found it was pointless to do the thorough root extraction and all that because I was going to be battling it anyways. So I'm treating this pepper tree in between my new podocarpus hedge that I planted. And I'm winning, but I also hit some of the podocarpus every once in a while. But it'll only brown out like one branch, which is nice. So
did you try the sucker stopper?
And that's working.
It is working.
It is working.
Yeah.
Yes, I tried the sucker stopper on that, and so I'm winning. I'm winning right now.
So let me ask you, how high do you want the hedge?
10 feet.
Okay, so you get 2 feet to go. Then you're gonna that's gonna be it. You're gonna keep it at 10.
Yeah.
As a neighbor barrier, as well.
Yeah, it's a neighbor barrier, and it's if you go into the Facebook page and look at the pictures, I have 4 neighbors on one side of my house, and every neighbor has its different barrier. Some has a fence, some have a wall, some have a fence with slatted. And so this is a nice way to just create some consistency along that side because all you're going to see is green hedge rather than this hodgepodge of fence lines kind of a thing.
You know, Jan pointed out on Facebook that we were talking about pruning different things, and we were talking about how far back I had to cut some of my roses. And she said that some roses don't like heavy pruning, and she mentions Peace and Anvil Sparks. I'm trying to think. Brandy is another rose that doesn't like heavy pruning, and to some extent Double Delight also. So you do have to know the variety of the rose that you're pruning before you do it, so you don't damage the rose bush. I've had Anvil Sparks, which, you know, I'm trying to think. I think they changed the exhibition name of Anvil Sparks to Ambosfunken.
What, a little German?
So much easier to say.
Yeah, German, right? I'm assuming.
Right.
Okay.
As a matter of fact,
he's getting excited, Tiger. Hold on.
Well, I'm getting excited because I'm thinking about the auction, and Jan donated an Anvil Sparks to the auction, and Anvil Sparks is a fantastic rose, and she donated several roses to the auction, and they're grafted on Fortuniana rootstocks. And Fortuniana for Southern California, it's one of the best rootstocks you can get. It's so vigorous. You'll get plants that probably have 30% more blooms and 30% larger plants than with
disease
anything else.
resistant because of the grafting to some degree?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Not even close.
Not even close. It affects the vigor, not disease resistance.
So that's another radio show.
Well, no, there's some rootstocks do that.
Yeah.
You know, like vegetable rootstocks
Sure.
and things like that.
But not roses for the most part?
I don't think they're...
That would be not. Wouldn't that be great if you could
have disease resistant
yeah.
rootstocks? It would be.
You wouldn't have all the brown spots and all that other stuff. And...
Yeah, except usually there's no transfer of genetic material between the rootstock and the top of a plant. So the rootstocks that are disease resistant are resistant to soil diseases.
Yeah, soil-borne. Okay.
Yeah.
Not the foliar disease.
Right. And there is a disease called gall that roses get. Maybe there would be a rootstock resistant to gall. I don't know.
Did any one of you read Rick's latest?
Yeah.
He's got a question.
Yeah, and it's a good question because right now a lot of places, we at Mission Hills Nursery are having our fall sale. This is the time of year when nurseries clear out their spring, summer inventory.
Got to get rid of it.
You know, because over winter, things slow down. You want to have less inventory to take care of. So
you need room for Christmas trees.
Yeah, and we need new room for Christmas trees.
Yep.
Exactly. So it's a great time to go shopping at your local nursery because a lot of stuff will be on sale, not just plants, but other materials. But some of these items are root bound, overgrown, or, you know, you have to know what you're buying. And Rick's question was he was given, I believe was given 3 fuchsia hanging baskets, but they're root bound and hard to manage. And he wants to know if he cuts them back and then takes them out of the pot, removes some of the root mass, and then replants them, would that be okay? And I'm going to say yes. John may say different. Well, I don't know, because I mean, most plants that would be okay if you remove some of the foliage and you take it out, maybe, you know, shrink some of the root. That shouldn't drive it too bad. You got to be careful removing root from any plant, but I think fuchsias bounce back, you know, pretty well from that kind of a thing. But what do you think, John?
I'm thinking that I need to work on being more agreeable and a nicer person just in general. Because when Tiger has to preface his comment by, now John might say something different, like I'm almost afraid to say this because John might.
Oh, I'm not afraid.
No.
Well, I know you're not afraid, but it makes me wonder, like, maybe I need to be a little bit nicer in the way I reply.
Maybe you have something different or something more to add on to it.
Oh, okay. I agree with you 100%.
How about that? Okay, I'm going to mark it.
It's true.
I'm going to mark that. We're going to take a break. We're coming right back. Stay with us.
There's more than one way to invest in your education. Investing in the right products, securities, and real estate generates secure and sound futures. What about an investment that retains its value? Consider college real estate. College real estate can provide housing for students and generate returns for their families. Through this special offer from Austin iLabs, you can download the free workbook collegerealestate.com to see if investment is right for you. Go to collegerealestate.com/radio.
Time changes everything. For me, becoming a single father of 2 young kids, it changed my ability to use my timeshare. The frustration of not being able to use it was compounded by annual maintenance fees that nearly tripled over a 3-year period. I was desperate to get out. After searching online for sell my timeshare or get out of my timeshare, it just looked like one scam after another. I needed a real, permanent, and legitimate way to get out of this for good. I'm Brandon Reed, the founder of Timeshare Exit Team. We will get you out of the timeshare you can't use or can't afford anymore. We get people out safely, legally, and permanently. We are more successful because we have more solutions. Schedule a free consultation to review your ownership situation and find the best strategy for you. If we can't get you out, we will give you a full refund. Call Timeshare Exit Team today.
Call 800-929-8112. That's 800-929-8112. That's 800-929-8112.
Call Timeshare Exit Team today.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-217-5107. 800-217-5107. That's 800-217-5107.
Have you written a book and want to get it published? Then call Page Publishing at 800-557-6095 immediately. That's 800-557-6095. Page Publishing is looking for authors of all types of books. And unlike most publishers, Page Publishing will take the time to review each and every book submitted to them and give you their feedback. If they like what they read, they'll get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, the Apple iTunes Store, Barnes & Noble, and other outlets. They handle everything: editing, cover design, copyright protection, printing, publishing. So if you've written a novel, children's book, cookbook, inspirational work, poetry, or a biography and want to need to call Page Publishing and do it immediately. Call 800-557-6095 now for your free author submission kit. Again, for your free author submission kit, call 800-557-6095. That's 800-557-6095. Your road to fame and fortune could very well start with this simple phone call. Call Page Publishing at 800-557-6095 for your free author submission kit.
As a small business owner, there's one word that you absolutely dread: payroll. For small businesses, it's a big burden. You may think you're saving time and money doing it yourself. But come on, are you? Timesheets, processing checks, calculating taxes, a total waste of your time. Paychex simplifies payroll processing, saving you time and money. Submit your payroll online, fax it in, or call your dedicated Paychex payroll specialist. And you're done. Learn more at trypaychex.com. Come on, do the math. The IRS dishes out 8 million penalties a year. Make one mistake, and you're on the hook. On average, you're losing nearly 1 business day every month doing payroll. That's time and money you'll never get back. Checks. More than 500,000 small businesses already do. Call 877-649-5324. Trade payroll pressure for peace of mind. Call now. 877-649-5324. That's 877-649-5324.
Do you have an old car sitting in your driveway? How would you like to learn a hassle-free way to get rid of it, help kids in need, and get a great tax donation in the process? It's real easy. One simple free call to our car donation hotline is all it takes. Call the Neshama Foundation at 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. We'll come pick your car up for free and give you a tax donation for the full value of the car, running or not. The value of your unwanted car will go to help kids in need. It's fast and easy. Just call us and your car will be gone and on its way to helping children in 48 hours. And you get a nice tax deduction. Call the Neshama Foundation now to get rid of your car, help kids, and get a tax write-off. Call 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. That's 800-721-6723.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Brian, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
It is 35 minutes after the hour. We are back. We continue here on Garden America. Want to get a hold of us? Questions, comments, something happening? John at gardenamerica.com. Here on Biz Talk Radio, 855-424-9825. Also, Facebook Live, as we're talking about trees, everything this morning.
Well, we were talking the concept of heavy pruning and what you have to watch out for if you do heavy prune.
And John agreed with you, by the way, last segment.
Yeah, and then we led into the fall plant sales at the nursery and being able to get a good deal on some stuff, but it might be root bound.
What's the best deal right now at your nursery right now?
50% off fruit trees.
Wow.
So stone fruits, not citrus.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to, I don't want to blame Tiger's dad for this. I'm not sure he was the one. But back in my younger days when I was managing garden centers, come to this time of year, and we were told we had put all our fruit trees, everything in container on sale, 50% off. And bare root fruit trees back then were really big, and they came in middle of December to the end of December. But meantime, all the trees that were actually a better buy because they were in 5-gallon containers, I had to mark them half price. And I thought, if anything, they should be more than the bare root trees.
Yeah.
Didn't make any sense.
It's just, I think it's the space and the clearing out. Everybody likes stuff new.
If
it looks old and people get...
If you need the space, I could see doing that.
But I wanted to say on the idea, as John was mentioning, these things have been around for a year. And some people get worried because sometimes they can get root bound in the pot. And so I think if you are going to go to one of these nurseries and get discounted material, and it might be root bound or even just older in the can, HB 101, you should buy a bottle of that along with it, because I found that when transplanting these items, it works really well to help a root-bound plant, help a overgrown plant adapt to planting. And the nice thing about it, like a starter planter mix, like sometimes there's the vitamin B1 or Super Thrive. The HB 101 I think is a bit more natural, and so it doesn't like force this down the plant's throat. It kind of lets the plant take it up and
as
use
much
it
as
naturally.
it needs, how much it needs.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a big HB 101 guy.
He is. Well, I am too.
It works.
And it's just recently, I would say, right, the last few years.
That's what I'm saying. I've been trying and it works.
It's amazing because people like to use something and see results.
Yeah.
And even though you may have results that you don't see, you don't get quite as excited. HB 101, and we've had people call us and say, I can't believe in just 3 days what's happened to my plant.
Yeah, and it's nice to know that sometimes bringing the plant back from the verge of death is an option, because there's not a lot of products out there that
sense
give
of
you
accomplishment
that option.
too. You feel good about that, I
mean, I love Milorganite, but I mean, if I put Milorganite on it, it's not going to bring the plant back.
Two different things.
Yeah.
HB 101 is not fertilizer.
Right.
The best we can describe it as what, maybe vitamin, John? It's vitamins for your plants. I mean,
yeah, Milorganite is for maintaining plants and keeping them healthy, has nothing to do with resurrection. You need HB 101 for that.
The Messiah of plants.
I love it. You need a cave with a stone wall.
Exactly.
Well, for the rose auction coming up, I treated some of the plants that were very small, and most people would say they're not going to be ready for the auction. I treated them with HB 101 just to make them saleable for the auction, and they're doing really well. So I agree. We always kid about our friend Joel and about how he uses
more is better.
More is better, and much more is much more better.
He buys the gallon jug of it.
Oh yeah, it just grows a little bit too fast. But yeah, I do like it. And you mentioned vitamin B1, and I'm trying to think, probably in the 60s and early 70s, people in California used to buy that by the gallon.
Yeah.
And all the studies I've shown show that vitamin B1 does virtually nothing to help a plant grow. It does smell, but other than that, it doesn't do anything.
So what's your take on fish emulsion?
Well, fish emulsion smells and does the job because it's
like
an organic.
It's like milorganite. It's a fertilizer.
Yeah.
It's not a product that you do use to, like John mentioned, resurrect.
Vitamin B1 was the main ingredient in Super Thrive.
Correct.
And they, for years, pushed how great it was. And some people use Super Thrive and swear by it. But Super Thrive now contains a lot of micronutrients. And the micronutrients are good for plants. But the vitamin B1 that's in it is, as far as I know, virtually worthless.
Yeah, yeah. I think in some cases, Super Thrive can, transplanting or dividing, it's a good product.
Yeah,
but,
because of the micronutrients.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them in there.
Yeah, but if I was to be, trying to reestablish a plant, maybe from a stress or anything like that, no, I'm not going to use
HB 101
is the HB 101.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Any emails, John?
I don't know. I haven't checked in a while.
See if anybody's checking in. That would be John at GardenAmerica.com, also 855-424-9825. And right there, as Rick and some other people have done on Facebook Live, which we get to immediately.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of questions here.
See, look at that, huh?
I don't know if we have time to answer them all.
Well, let's just dive into it and see what happens.
All right. Let's see. Millie was first. And this might be dangerous because I'm going to read these.
Without pre-reading it?
Without pre-reading.
The trick is, as you're reading, try to look at the next line.
Okay.
Good luck with that.
All right. This is from Millie, and she says, I'm looking for a climbing rose that can be relatively drought tolerant once established, plus disease resistant. Done a little research and come up with a couple of names, Lady Hillingdon and New Dawn. I live in Napomo, California, and have a couple of climbers that are doing relatively well, even with me probably not watering them enough. They are Autumn Sunset and Sally Holmes. Thanks for any ideas, Millie. A lot of climbing roses are going to be tough to begin with. Hardy growers is the word I was looking for. That you mentioned, Millie, Lady Hillingdon is a tea rose, which I happen to really like that rose. You also consider, and New Dawn is also a good one. There's one that, if you can find, that Ralph Moore put out called, it was a striped rose. And now my mind just went blank. As soon as it comes to me, I'll mention it, though. And I was also going to mention there's Climbing Cecile Bruner.
Yeah, that's a very common and matches the description that she was talking about. Hardy, low water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that any of those will work for you, Millie. But Lady Hillingdon, I'm just starting to become infatuated with tea roses. And if you're just starting to grow roses, I think for the most part, this is a generalization, but I would say most beginning rose growers do not like tea roses.
Right.
And they also don't like single roses. But, as you mature, you develop an appreciation for those kinds of things. And tea roses were the roses before hybrid teas that were popular in the 1800s. But they're very hardy roses. And in California, bloom about 11 months out of the year.
A long time.
Great roses for California. Also, I want to mention, Millie, if you go to ccrsauction.com, that stands for California Coastal Rose Society, so ccrsauction.com, the roses in the auction are broken out by categories. And if you look under climbers, you'll find a dozen there. And there's a link from there to help me find. And I think that almost every rose in that list is going to be pretty drought tolerant. So,
excellent.
So you might just take a quick look at those.
While you're getting ready on the next question, I'll mention if you want a not drought tolerant rose, there was that rose that you guys had in the auction a few years back after Katrina, that Peggy Martin that was flooded for 2 weeks underwater, and it survived.
Yeah.
Not only underwater, but under seawater.
Gosh.
Peggy Martin actually is drought tolerant, too.
It is actually a very hardy rose.
Yeah.
That's funny, though. Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah, for a rose to survive that long under those conditions, it's amazing. Just shows you how hardy roses are. Another question from Bill, and he wants... Whoops.
Well, we'll go to a break first.
Wait till we come back.
We'll come back with Bill's question, and if you have a question, if John's email box isn't too full, john@gardenamerica.com. Biz Talk Radio at 855-424-9825. Facebook Live as we continue. One more segment coming up on your Saturday. Brian Main, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. We are coming right back.
Having bug problems this season? Need an overall solution? Try Natural Guard Spinosad Soap. This combination of spinosad and fatty acids kills aphids, mealybugs, worms, caterpillars, and other bugs that plague your garden. It's also safe to use around your fruit and veggies to make sure you enjoy your crop and not those pesky critters. Find Natural Guard Spinosad Soap in a ready-to-use bottle or ready to spray for those large garden plots at your favorite independent garden center. Go to fertilome.com for more information. Want a better-looking lawn with less effort? Husqvarna's robotic automower is the effortless way to mow. Husqvarna's intelligent design allows the automower to maneuver around your lawn without supervision, even over tricky terrain and around obstacles. It knows when it needs to be charged and directs itself back to the charging dock. With convenient control options, the Husqvarna allows you to set it and forget it, even from your smartphone. Thanks to Husqvarna, you can have a great-looking lawn and more time to enjoy it this season. Visit Mission Hills Nursery at 1525 Fort Stockton Drive in San Diego, or go to missionhillsnursery.com for more info.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who've agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-607-8945. That's 1-800-607-8945. Again, 1-800-607-8945.
Attention independent contractors. This is a money-saving message. Tax mediation services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-285-4765 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-285-4765. Again, 800-285-4765.
National Funding Group has just released $100 million in easy access small business funding to businesses that gross at least $100,000 a year. You can have fast access up to $500,000 in new business capital in as little as 48 hours. Think about the ways you could grow your business if you had up to a $500,000 cash infusion. Call a NFG funding expert now. The process is easy. It only takes about 5 minutes. Then our management-owned lending team looks at your application for a fast approval. You can get 100% funded in about 2 days. If you need up to $500,000 in working capital to run your business and you gross at least $100,000 a year, call NFG and apply today. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. That's 800-296-1564.
Does your water stain and damage your fixtures? Does it smell or taste bad? Are you worried about what's in your water? Water quality should not be painful and worrisome. Get HydroCare water systems from Wave Home Solutions with the most advanced purification technologies. Call Wave Home Solutions today at 1-888-989-WAVE or go to greathealthywater.com. HydroCare will eliminate limescale that causes hundreds of dollars in damage to pipes and appliances without using salt. Well water will no longer smell or stain your fixtures. City water will be purified of harmful chlorine, lead, arsenic, and chemicals. Wave Home Solutions provides the cleanest, healthiest water at every faucet. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 1-888-989-WAVE, 1-888-989-WAVE, or go to greathealthywater.com. That's greathealthywater.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Brian, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
And just like that, we are into our final segment. We had somebody ask a question on Facebook. They said, podcast? ? Yes, after the show today, we are doing another podcast. Have we decided what we're going to be doing on that podcast for those that...
Fall planting.
Fall planting on the podcast today, which will be up and loaded, ready to go by Monday morning. So fall planting on today's podcast, which you won't hear live, but you'll hear the recorded podcast by Monday.
I'm not sure I even get what a podcast is.
It's a show.
It's radio that we get to use expletives on.
What? How do you find it, though?
Well, good question, John. You can download the iHeartRadio app. Or even, I don't want to say better, but maybe more convenient. Every week in the newsletter, John puts a link there. You click that link. It'll take you to all the podcasts, including all the previous podcasts. Every single one we've done is up there loaded and ready to be listened to.
Can listen to these any time of the day.
Any
right?
time of the day. 1 o'clock in the morning. You want to hear a podcast? You get the newsletter? Click the link. Or download the iHeartRadio app and search for Garden America.
Wow, it's so convenient.
It's so convenient. How do we do it? Yeah. Volume.
Okay.
Next question, John.
All right, this is from Bill. And we were talking about Milorganite, and he says, hey, guys, do you know if Milorganite's having production delays? We haven't been able to get it at the Ace Hardware stores in the San Luis Obispo area for months. And, Tiger, you said they did last summer, right?
Yeah, they had some production issues at their plant. I can't remember if there was a malfunction or a fire or something, but they since got that resolved, so you should be able to get some now. I mean, I know we have some in stock, and we just got some recently. So
there's Bill's answer right there. Come next weekend for the convention and the rose auction.
And visit Mission Hills Nursery.
There you go.
And you can get all the Milorganite that you want.
Yeah. Fill up your trunk.
Yeah.
Actually put a layer of Milorganite bags down in your trunk, and then put the roses you bought on top of them, lay them down, and drive back to SLO.
And the nice thing about it is because you're getting Milorganite, you're not going to get on the watch list for buying large volumes of fertilizer.
No,
It's only
true.
Milorganite.
That's ammonium nitrate.
Watch list.
We used to sell a lot of ammonium nitrate.
You used to sell a lot of things that were not probably.
Ammonium nitrate. There's nothing really wrong with ammonium nitrate. It's a good chemical fertilizer.
Good chemical fertilizer.
Yeah, results are explosive.
Skull and crossbones. Okay, John. Next question.
Okay, let's see. This is a tiger question, I think.
Yes.
We didn't get the picture, but question says, I just attempted to send you a picture of a growth in one area of my garden. These particular lumps are growing around a struggling clump of mondo grass. These brown lumps have grown around other plants in the same area. The only fertilizer I've used in this area is Milorganite. It's in it's my all-use fertilizer, so I don't think it has anything to do with these brown smooth lumps. Oh yes, a white smooth growth develops gradually around these lumps too. Any suggestions?
There's a fungus among us.
That's what it sounds like, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Usually that would be indication of too much moisture, right?
Yeah, but I found that this also sometimes occurs when people do use certain fertilizers, organic specifically, or mulches, because even in times of dry weather, they retain moisture in those mulches, and then they develop that fungal issue. Trying to think of what it was called, but they're not harmful ones. They're not harmful fungal issues for the soil. It's actually good. It's taking place. Things are breaking down, things are decomposing, fungus is developing, and that's actually beneficial. They're not always great to see in your yard, and they do spread rapidly. Like you said, if you start watering a lot, the fungus spreads quickly throughout the rest of the yard because they break open and the spores move around very easily. So I would say nothing to worry about, but it is usually overwatering or not evaporating water, meaning shady area or an area that isn't getting dry in between.
So
waterings.
heavy clay soils maybe could be a problem.
Yeah, exactly. The one time that you do want to watch out for fungal issues with soil is if they're attaching themselves to the base of a tree. So if you see it attaching itself to the base of a plant, that will begin to decay the plant itself, and that's an issue. But when you just see them in between plants, mushrooms and those spores and things, those are pretty normal usually.
One more?
I was just smiling because Jan read my mind. What I was trying to...
when you were thinking of the...
We were talking to Millie, and I was trying to think of the climbing rose. Like, I didn't give you guys enough information that you could have come up with the name, right?
No.
She got it, though.
She got it. Shadow Dancer's the name I was
Why
trying
don't we
to
have
think
her on? Let's have her on as a guest in a couple of weeks.
Well, we could, to talk about roses.
Sure.
And matter of fact, she's been very instrumental in helping us at the Save the Roses Foundation. So we really appreciate all her support. And I'm looking forward to seeing her at the convention. Hopefully she can make it down. I know she's had some pet sitting issues that she's been trying to work out. But we were hoping that a bunch of us could get together and maybe set up some strategy for saving some of these roses. Right now we're working on some projects of bringing in roses from Europe that are from gardens that need help. So
would that be a big quarantine thing?
Well, anytime you bring roses from Europe, it's a problem. Bringing roses from anywhere other than Canada is very difficult to bring them into the U.S. So that's a problem, but there's some varieties over there I'm really excited to see for the first time. And I think I mentioned last week that they had rediscovered the Mrs. Miniver rose.
Right. Yes.
And right now, our friend Becky Hook in France is working on starting some of those for us, and hopefully we'll have those next year.
Okay, well, John, you're right. You didn't get through all the questions, but time is a factor right now as we wind things down. Anything last minute you want to mention?
No, just make sure to make your plans for the upcoming auction, the 28th, October 28th.
We are back next Saturday. You're a question mark.
I'm a question mark, but you guys will talk about it if I'm not here.
All righty. Hey, thank you so much for watching us on Facebook Live. Thank you for tuning in on Biz Talk Radio. And, of course, hour number 1 on AM 1240 here in San Diego. The replay of today's show, Southern California, Los Angeles, AM 740. And we thank those fine people. For the entire crew, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco, I'm Brian Main. See you next week.
Listen on the go. Download the Biz Talk Radio app. Available in